I'm super enthusiastic to be driving to Las Vegas to attend the Bitcoin conference. But before I could go, I had to get my car charged. So I stopped here at the Spectrum, which is an awesome shopping center in Orange County, California. And fortunately, they have a charger for electric vehicles. So I'm walking back to my vehicle and I find a message from somebody who's recently got out of prison, and he wanted me to take down a profile that he had built on prison professors' talent, which is fine. I completely took it down. But then he asked me, how did the profile get put up there? I said, well, the only way a profile can get put on prison professors' talent is if you would have sent your name and an indication that you wanted to open a profile. I mean, it costs us money as a nonprofit to put those profiles up. And you probably went through one of my courses or read one of the books that we offer in prison and sent an email years ago, and now you're wondering, oh, I got out of prison and I don't want my name on the internet. Well, I couldn't find his profile because he didn't put anything on it. He didn't write a biography. He didn't write a journal entry. He didn't write a book report, nor did he write a release plan. So it was basically blank. It was just a name. When I Googled him, I saw that when I plugged up with Google, there were plenty of DOJ press releases. And those DOJ press releases spoke about his conviction for fraud. They spoke about its indictment. They spoke about how he cooperated against other people, but he scammed people out of, millions of dollars. And that's going to linger on Google. That's going to linger for a long time. What's not going to be there is, what has he done to make amends? What has he done to reconcile? What has he done to rebuild his life? Nothing. So taking down his profile doesn't mean anything because there's nothing there. The only thing that's on Google is something bad. A press release that indicates federal prosecutors accused you of a crime and you pleaded guilty, you cooperated against others, so you took responsibility, you brought other people in with you, and you ended up with a sentence that was several years, but there's nothing about what you have done to reconcile or redeem yourself. Don't let that be you. The reality of a criminal conviction is that it has long-lasting consequences. It has consequences that will influence where you live. It will have consequences that could potentially influence your access to credit. It will have consequences that can potentially influence your ability to bank, to work, so many areas of your life, unless you do something about it. If any of you Google my name, Michael Santos, I was in prison for 26 years. The difference is that anything that pops up on Google, I control. It's something that I built. And I would like you to be thinking about the result you want. What is going to exist in your name? If you're going into the criminal justice system, what will exist in the months, years, and decades ahead? The more you think about that, the more effectively you're going to be at building a pathway to a better future. There are always more opportunities in the future than in the past, but not if you don't prepare. If you don't prepare, there is a parade of horribles that will follow. Unemployment, underemployment, discrimination. And then you know what happens to those people? They have mental health challenges. They have complications in their life about what they can achieve. And then they'll come up with 1,000 excuses. The "it's not my fault" itis. Don't be that guy that's filled with "it's not my fault" itis. Figure out what you can do today, what seeds you can sow today to start building a better life. And the sooner you do that, that's when you really, truly start becoming the CEO of your life. If you don't do that, just own what comes with it. What comes with it is anytime somebody Googles your name, there's going to be a complication, a question. What does this say about you being convicted of fraud? What does this mean you absconded with millions of dollars? What does this mean about you testifying against your partners? What does this mean about you serving many years in federal prison? That's not coming down unless you do something about it that puts something above it. So if you're concerned about your reputation after a criminal charge, start thinking about what can you do to influence a better outcome. The more you work the more opportunities you're going to put yourself in the position to overcome. And think about every decision you make. Because if you make decisions that are based on fear, I don't want to talk about my background, fine, just understand there will be other people who do talk about your background. There will be other people who do want to bring you down. They want to build points on your name. They trade on what you've done. If I look up my prosecutor, her name was Portia Moore in the Western District of Washington. She's no longer a prosecutor. I got convicted in 1987, or I was charged in 1987 when I was in my early 20s. And it was my first time in the system. And I got sentenced to 45 years in federal prison. Even today, today is, I don't know what it is, sometime late May, 2025. If you go to her website, she works at a very prestigious law firm in Washington State. If you Google Portia Moore attorney and you look at her bio of her credentials, she is writing, I was the prosecutor who convicted Michael Santos of operating a cocaine distribution enterprise. I mean, it's still lingering there. Fortunately, all the work that I did while going through 26 years in prison has more value. It shows not the crime that I committed, but how did I respond to the crime? And the more you think about how you can do that, the better positioned you are going to be to overcome the challenges ahead. Don't let the worst decision that you may have made in your life or the biggest complication you have faced in your life define who you are or what happens in your future. You've got to be the CEO of your life. You've got to start building. And the sooner you start building, the more effective you're going to be at building the next phase. I think my car is charged enough for me to get on the road, so I'm going to disconnect. It's super cool. I feel if you've never seen this, you just click right there, and now it's free to go. So I'm on my way to Las Vegas. I'll be reporting a lot from the conference. So we're going to the Las Vegas, the Bitcoin conference. I think there'll be like 50,000 people there. I'm super enthusiastic because it's an opportunity for me to develop relationships and network with more people who are in the crypto community. And you'll see I have my Binance shirt on, which I got in Dubai from CZ. I've got my MicroStrategy hat on. I'm going to the whale events there. I'm looking forward to meeting Ross Ulbricht for the first time. For those of you who don't know, he was the founder of the Silk Road, and President Trump pardoned him on his first day of office. So it'll be a really exciting time for me. I look forward to meeting other friends of mine, including Adam Clausen and his wife, Ro, a guy who was also released from prison after serving multiple decades and is very active in the community of reform. So my name is Michael Santos. I'm the founder of Prison Professors. I believe in you. Be cool.